All right, let's get back with doing some tactics. Let's get some puzzles as we're starting off at 2200. Let's see what we can do. And I didn't warm up, so I definitely need to take some time thinking about the position. Thinking first, queen takes, rook takes, and then I pin the knight where I'm threatening bishop takes c4, winning the knight. If you have a move like g3, I still take. So survey says this looks pretty good, and we're on and moving. Okay. So it seems like we should be attacking here. White seems to be in a precarious situation. Queen g4 is my first reaction, where the pawn is pinned and we're threatening queen takes g2 mate. If g3, we'll play queen f3, where bishop f1 could be an issue. So I begin to look at the position differently. If queen g4, g3, queen f3, bishop f1, bishop takes f1, rook takes f1, nothing. So what if I play bishop takes g2 immediately? Bishop takes g2, king takes g2, rook g5 check. I don't know. Something's not right. What am I missing? Bishop takes, queen g4, king h1, queen f3, king g1, rook g5. King f1. We need the bishop. We need the bishop. We need him. I don't think it's bishop takes g2. I'm seeing outs. Bishop takes g2, king takes g2, queen g4, king f1, queen h3, king e2, queen f3, king d2. The king ran. But I'm not seeing anything with queen g4. Queen g4, g3. Queen f3. Bishop f1. e3. If bishop takes h3, e takes f2. And if f takes e3, yeah, it doesn't look good enough. I have no idea on this one, to be completely honest. No idea. Queen g4 definitely looks natural. I don't want to give up, but the video will take forever if I don't take a stab every now and then. So what was it? Okay, what did I miss? Yeah, to step the king in the way. The e3 in between move. e3 makes sense because I calculated queen f3, king d2. e3 stops the king from running to d2 and forces the situation. So, definitely room for improvement there. The knight's in a bad situation. If we check and he moves, and then we take with check, seems to he's holding everything together. So my second idea was rook takes, king takes, rook c8 with the pin. Now he's got to defend the knight, say with bishop there. So how can we win the piece at that point? d5, just bishop takes d5. So you got to look at this and figure out what the deal is. I don't see this one either. That's not good. Ah, rook check. King d2. Rook check. King takes. Rook takes check. Winning the knight. Knew it had something to do with the knight. Had to win the knight. Okay. First thing to perceive is capturing the knight because of this pin situation. So I want to play queen check first, and as he moves the king, king to somewhere. Then I play bishop takes, and looks like that just wins. Okay, now seems like the best way to play is rook takes e3. And this is a winning ending. All right, back rank stuff. Big threats, big threats. Rook a8, bishop f8, box move. Takes f8, king takes f8, queen a8, queen e8, queen a3 check, and we win the rook. So rook a8, bishop f8, rook takes f8, king takes f8, queen a8. If king e7, queen a3, both of them deal with queen a3, and the loose piece drops off. Okay. Black pawns are going this way. Seems like we need to take the queen first. Rook check, king moves, rook takes, king takes. Push. If this rook goes after the other one, we have push. Worst case scenario, it's a draw. But that's definitely the way to go. King here is more flexible. So I go with that first. And now I'm, ooh, that's tough. Do I go here or do I go here? King, king, push, rook over there. I mean, it's just looking like a draw. I'm trying to win this. What am I missing? Because it's like the rook's going to have to deal with this guy at some point. And I think in either case, whether I play king h6 or king c3, or king a3 or king c3 rather, it's going to be a draw. So what is being missed here by this one? King c3 is more logical though. I'm gonna go with that one. Okay, now white is trying to lose. If I push and his rooks go there, then I'm going to slide over with the king. His king moves up, I go there, then I queen. Yeah, queen. Puzzle rating pending. I haven't seen that one before. Interesting. Okay, let's keep it going. Check yourself. Typically, the best way to get out of check is with force. A. G6, bishop takes d4. Knight takes d4. Yeah, we gotta be careful here. So rook takes e4. Queen, okay. That's gotta be it. If we take with the queen, I like knight takes d4. If queen takes or knight takes d4, if rook takes e4, we take. If knight takes d4, queen d1, we have knight takes c3. Okay. Some care is needed at this juncture because rook takes e4 is a threat. What is easiest here? E3. I just feel bad about that one. E3, knight takes d5, queen takes d5, and then rook takes e3. Our king's out in the open. That feels off. Feels very, very off. Castles. Rook takes e4. Queen f5, rook takes d4. This is a critical moment. Everything else had to be done because of tactics with rook takes e4 before. Most forcing move in the position is arguably knight takes c3 because it defends e4 for a moment. But then, after b takes c3, the knight on d4 is hit and rook takes e4 is threatened. So what am I missing there? I don't see the way to defend everything. That's a problem. I want to hold everything. I got an extra knight. I like extra knights. Knight e7, rook takes e4. Same problem. Can I move the d knight? I'm drawing a blank on this one bad. Just not calculating well at all today. And by calculating, I mean I'm not generating the proper ideas to be able to calculate from. I see the problem. Rook takes e4 is the problem. E3 takes with check. And even there looks pretty good. I just don't see that as a way to keep the material-ish. You got c5 up there, so rook f1 instead. King g7. Looks really sketchy. I mean, the black king is still wide open. Knight takes c3, b takes c3, queen f5, rook takes e4, king f7, rook takes d4. All right, I am requesting a hint. Really? I don't get it still. Because I considered castle, but then I saw this position in my mind's eye, and I'm like, no. Queen f5, if he takes, I take back with a knight. That loses the other knight. Knight to e3. Yeah, that was beyond my thought process there. Self-pinning. That's a good one. That is definitely a good one. And I find it's important to repeat patterns like this a few times when you miss it. So if you see me doing that, you understand why. And then we get this type of problem. Rook takes e4 is the first thing I consider 100%. And why is that not just it? Okay, why is a mate in 1 an 1800 problem? Chess.com, do better. So we get a 2100 problem. That 93 idea was, I would say it was very difficult for me to see. It was outside of my realm of possibilities. And then we get another problem like this, where it looks like it's queen f2, king d1, knight e3, d takes e3, rook d8, and you can block with whatever you want. It just seems like you're losing. I got +5 for that, but really though, I mean, I'm still winning. Yeah, great superfluous move. Pointless tactic there at the end. Okay. I have 2 passers. You have a bishop. Queen takes, bishop takes, push, push, push. Bishop can't go there. Bishop. Okay. Push, takes, push, bishop there, push, bishop there. covering the square. So push here first, inducing that, and now we're going to sack one pawn to get the other. Okay, I think the easiest way to do this is check, and then when the king moves, I take with check and then take the free bishop. Okay, first thing that sticks out is rook g2, king h1, rook h2, king h2, queen h4, king g1, queen g4, king f2, queen g2, king e3, no bishop. Okay. So close, but not quite. Rook takes g2, king takes g2, queen h4 immediately. You can check me, but I just take. You can check me again, I run to c8. I like that idea a lot. Rook g2, king h1, queen h4. How's he stopping the mate threat? Bishop takes d7, king takes d7, knight f6 or c5, king c8, and no more checks. If we take, he then takes back with a bishop covering the mate. So, critical moment, it would seem. Can I not just go king d8? King takes f8, looks like queen takes f3 just wins. So king d8, knight f7, king c8, knight d6, king b8, out of checks. King d8, knight takes b7, king c8, or king d8, bishop e7 check, king takes. Yeah, king d8. Okay, now I don't just need to move the king, so I must take that. I must take that. All right, felt good about that problem. Looking like a French. I like it. Things that stick out. Back rank problems. Queen takes f2, rook takes f2, rook c1, rook f1, rook takes f1 mate. Bishop's good. Bishop's good. All right. Queen takes queen, rook a takes d1, rook a to e8. Emphasizing the pin, if f3, f5, the knight moves, we take material. And that will do it for this video as we moved another 100 points. Definitely some problems were harder than I would have liked, and clearly this is going to be a task as we're moving forward, as I'm trying to keep the video times down to a reasonable number. But it's bad practice, so I probably just won't care about time eventually and just want to push the chain. So hopefully you're enjoying this tactics series as I am trying to give insights and how I'm working through the problems, especially when I'm stuck. And yeah, join in for the next one.